She's probably gonna put that on the video.
That's a perfect intro.
Hey, race fans! So we are redoing this interview because in the beginning, I did not like what happened, and Parker was upset, and I was upset, and I was not having it. So race fans, we are here at the Freedom 76er weekend. Is a 38er, and I'm here with Parker Guldin. Parker, how you doing tonight?
I can't complain. It's always good before the race. It's after the race when you gotta kind of lick your wounds and wrap your bandage or wrap your wounds, whatever the hell. But yeah, we're good for right now. I'm excited. It's been a hell of a year this year so far with the car. I mean, we've been up and down the East Coast of the freaking thing in terms of frustration. Just stupid stuff happening throughout the year. So, anyways. That being said, I'm excited to put what do you call it? A season cap.
There we go.
Cap on it tonight. Hopefully end on a positive note. So anyways, that's a long-winded way to say I'm good. I'm good.
So Parker, who is your favorite driver?
Ooh, favorite driver of all time. It's got to be Steve Kinzer. That's where the number 11 comes from. And me and my brother, we share that number as our favorite number. And obviously, he's older; he's at it first. But my number 11 for me comes from Steve Kinzer. We follow sprint car racing since I was in diaper shit myself. And then, sprint cars were like the better version of NASCAR, right? So we always followed it, and that's where the 11 comes from. And then, but overall, I mean. He's obviously retired and moved on now. He's the king, right? He's the king of sprint cars.
Mm-hmm.
But I try to follow modified as much as I can, and kind of like Larson. I don't like anyone I race against, but I like following Matt Shepard. He's like ice. He's in the car. He's on ice. He's smooth.
Yeah.
He's fast. He holds himself up very well. Not many people agree with that, but those people aren't inside the car. They aren't doing the work. So yeah, Matt Shepard and but ultimately it's Steve Kinzer. He's the king.
Definitely. So how and when did you start your racing career?
Ooh, there was a good hiatus there for a while. I started out in go-karts over at Orville Kart Club. I forget how old I was. I knew I was a little porker, so we had to jump up classes so I could make weight. But I started out running Pee Wee go-karts at Orville. First grade, and then a little bit in the second grade. I raced 3 years beginning of first grade, after first grade, and then going to second grade. So I said that wrong. There was 3 years. I ran Pee Wee karts for 2 years.
Right.
And then the class up, I ran 2-cycle can karts with Brett Gilmore, best friend. For a year, he whooped my ass. He was fast. Then after that, I just couldn't control my weight. I struggled with that for years, and we got out of racing. Oh man, I don't know how long that was. 15 years. I went from an oval kart, and then we've always come to Grandview. We grew up here. My mom's worked up in the booth before I was born. Actually, before all of us were born. My older sister, my older brother, and she's also worked at a rival neighboring track, Big Diamond. So. We've been around modified racing for years. I can't forget my Uncle Barry and Uncle Tracy. They raced modifieds for years. Well, my Uncle Tracy raced pretty much anything that had 4 wheels.
Wow.
Drag races currently now. So that's where the racing comes from. And then, in early 2017, I kind of made the decision to try and get a sport thing together after following the Gilmores for years and seeing that they can do it on a 40-hour-week paycheck and a little bit of know-how. Learning the hard way that know-how doesn't just come overnight.
Yes.
We made a lot of mistakes, but so anyways, 2017 we got ourselves a frame. It was donated to us by Danny Creedon up in New York, and we found a bunch of the parts from just people in the area that we're giving away because everyone hates TOs, but we made them fast, so. But so then in 2017 we built that whole car from the ground up, even powder coated from the guy down the street. Started at Bridgeport in 2018, and then it's been history. We came here in 2019 with a totally different car that was a nightmare, and then now we're here. We finally moved up to Big Nell. It's very nice. It's gotten wrecked a lot this year from. I can't think of a nice way to say it, but if you go back and follow the year, it's been wrecked a lot, and it's not my own fault.
Right, and that's when it's the worst. When it's
so
not your own fault.
You got to lick your wounds that someone else gave you.
Yes.
So, I forget where I was going with that. But, So I started in go-karts, and now we're here.
Now you're here. And you said you raced at Bridgeport, because that was my next question. Bridgeport, right? Where have you raced besides Grandview?
Actually, in 2018, that's when I did the most traveling, believe it or not. I started down in Bridgeport. That was back when in a 5/8 mile, the big 5/8 mile, and then that same year, something happened in a heat race, and I got barrel rolled down the front stretch, wrecked the car. So
gosh.
thankfully enough, the Gilmores, family friends, best friends, they lended us a car for a show that was at Big Diamond that year. They were supposed to have it on a Friday, and I forget the reason why. Maybe it was Arena, I don't know. But then it was supposed to be a sportsman only show. It was a line decker show.
Okay.
So it was a line decker show, and then sportsman only. So obviously none of them qualified to be a sportsman. They asked me, so I ran their car at Big Diamond, and then I've been wanting to. And I got to run a new Bridgeport, but that was an escort show. That was an escort show. It wasn't a good outing. But so yeah, just here, Big Diamond, Bridgeport. I'd love to travel around, but it's tough with work, and then my girlfriend got a house, and I moved in with her, so we're doing that. That's a lot. We have 2 little fur babies. They take up a lot of the time. And just getting away, just finding time to get away, because it's one thing everyone says, like, you just have a car and trailer, just go somewhere.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's not that simple for all of us. So I would love to get around and travel next year a little bit more, as long as someone behind the camera lets me. But we'll see. So yeah, I've only ever been to those 3 tracks: Big Diamond, Grandview, and Bridgeport. But I mean, technically it's 4 tracks, because Bridgeport's night and day. That place is crazy. It went from this like flat NASCAR track to Lawrenceburg, but in PA. It's insane.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Next question, please.
Next question. So speaking of a dog, Dad, I know we have little Chloe. Did I hear we got a new pup?
Yeah, Storm.
How's that going?
Oh, he's a little shithead sometimes.
We don't want me to ask that.
No, Storm's great. I love him to death. I've always been a dog person just an animal person my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Chloe was great. Whitney did a good job training her, so she was very easy when we first moved in. But then when we got Storm, it was like night and day, because we both have never raised a puppy kind of by ourselves. We always had our family around, even when we were away at work. The lady behind the camera is pointing at me saying, "No, you're the only one." It's not true. So, I mean, it's not that we couldn't do it. It was just more than what we ever had. And we handled it good, because Storm, he's the best.
He's the best.
He really is. He's a little floof. He's a little foofball that kind of mopes around. He's not little. He's probably over 34. Yeah, 34 pounds.
Oh my gosh, he's a big boy now.
Oh, big boy poops, big boy dog. But he's great. I love him to death. Even Chloe too. She's great. She's waking me up in the morning. She lays on my stomach. She's the one, her breath right on my breath wakes me up in the morning. That's my alarm clock.
She's a girl. So do you have a favorite vacation spot? And if so, where is it? And why?
Yeah, I knew this was going to come.
Yes!
This is a sore subject. So, a long time ago, I was giving myself the option either race or move down to the shore. I was coming into good money, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I wanted to move down by the water.
Mm-hmm.
My grandparents have a house down there. My mom used to take us down there. She could tell you how many times a summer, but I know for a while it was like 2 or 3 times during the summer. So we spent a lot of time down there.
Yeah.
Anyways, once I got my own job, I was supposed to move down there. Then I met Whitney, and we've been together since. So we've just been making it happen up here. But my favorite vacation spot is Ocean City, Maryland. The place is so nice. I mean, anyone that's probably watching this video has seen that, or has been down there or seen something from it. Ocean City, man, that place has got my heart. Actually, my screensaver in my phone is when we went down to the beach last year on our vacation, and I wanted to go down there this year, but just with everything, with racing, which that's my fault. Racing, the house, the dogs, it just didn't happen. But favorite vacation spot, Ocean City, Maryland.
Aww.
I love it down there. Anywhere down in southeastern Sussex County, Delaware. I mean, it's beautiful. You get down there, everyone's nice. It's not like when you go over to the grocery store here, you have people cutting you off and yelling at you. You say, "Get out of the way!" Down there, everyone's happy to see you, and you're happy to be down there. And so, yeah, Ocean City, Maryland. That place is beautiful.
I have to check it out. I've only been to Ocean City, New Jersey. I haven't been to Ocean City, Maryland.
Let me tell you, you're missing out.
Am I?
You're missing out in a sense of like, you need to get there. Not kind of like, I'd like to get there. You need.
So maybe when you guys go down, I'll get my own separate place. And then maybe I'll just have to stop down a little bit.
That's all up to Weekly Thrills in the Hills, not
ask, because your crew is absolutely hilarious. Everyone on your crew, who is the funniest crew member?
Oh, we'll take you to the funniest crew member right now. So the funniest crew member is this guy right here. This is my dad.
That's your dad?
Hello. Hi, how you doing? Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you. Oh.
Wait, I have to ask, what is Chloe's nickname?
Spoofy.
Spoofy!
Spoofy's a little dog, and the other dog is Dipsy Doodle.
Dipsy Doodle.
He's a Labradoodle, but I call him Dipsy. Dipsy's any doodles. Dipsy Doodle.
Oh, what's his favorite? Oh, yeah. And what's your favorite saying?
Oh, let it rip.
And this is why I asked who's the funniest crew member.
So that's anyone that sees my cars. I put "Let It Rip" all over the side of it. I work closely with JD Design, Jason Fritsch, on designing my car. And my dad's always said he wants something of my dad. He wanted himself on the car somewhere, and he didn't know anything about this at all. So when I showed it to him, me and Jason were planning his stuff. I was like, put let it rip somewhere all over the car. Every number that's on the car, and even on the corn pickers, right in the bottom, let it rip.
Let it rip.
My dad's proud as hell of that.
Every time I hear someone say "let it rip," I always think of your dad. Like I can't even stop laughing after it because he's just so funny. I need to be more like Dad.
He's a tornado of emotions, man. He's a walking comedy show, but he wears his heart in his sleeves. He's a backbone. Like, for example, we loaded the truck and trailer up last night when I got out of work, and he had the truck bed loaded. We loaded the car and all the other stuff, but he had all the little stuff loaded up. So he's got a ton of heart, and that's partially what gets me, or what gets us in trouble sometimes. But yeah, my dad's amazing. I wouldn't trade him for the world. My mom and dad, I would argue with anyone. We have the best parents in the world. Same with my family. We're dynamite. Anyone can try to argue with us. I'll tell them they're wrong.
You guys are a great bunch, for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We try.
Are there any special shout-outs or people you'd like to thank?
Oh, man, I forgot the list at home. It's about 10 different pages. I would definitely have to start with the sponsors, because at the beginning of this year, for bigger teams that have spare motors and even spare cars, it doesn't hurt that much. It's just more finding the time. But at the beginning of the season, I lost my motor. That was already 4 years old. I didn't think it was on its last legs, but I found out the hard way. So we lost the motor on practice night here, and a family friend of ours, Scott Kohler, reached out and said, "Hey, I have a motor for you." So big shout out to Scott Kohler. Big thank you. I can never thank him enough for offering me that. Initially, I was just supposed to borrow the motor, but then eventually worked out a deal to where I can buy it from and I can afford it. Speaking of affording it, big thanks to the sponsors this year. It wouldn't be possible without the sponsors. They all pitched in to help get that motor and get this car built, because building a new car, it's not just like you go to a car dealership, I'll take that one, right, and set up a payment plan. Unfortunately, it's not that easy. And so we built this whole car, MF haulers, safety net sanctuary, Lisa safety net sanctuary, Shadler's garage and towing. I also have to thank the Butlers, Jack and his dad. They played a big part in this year, helped me out with tires. They're dynamite people. DNS Retrievers, they came on board with us late in the season. They've been amazing to me. They've been like, we started talking probably about 2 months ago, and they've treated us like family. They've given me an endless amount of support for whatever I needed. Also had to thank Guldin's Cleaning. That's my dad, the funniest member of the Guldin racing team.
Spoofy. Let her rip.
Ole Valley Feed, our family member Kevin down here in Ole does all the food product stuff. He's been money to us big time. I meant to say that. He's been money to us. Meaning like he's been very good to us. Very, very good to us. And also got to thank my brother, my older brother, Spence's Speed Factory. That's him on the hood. That's a little secret between us here. We won't really talk about that much. But and obviously last but far from least, no, I won't say that. I got to thank JD Design. He's made the car look great. Sorry, I pressed something on the side here, but it's just plastic.
Oh, good. Anyways, it's like, not the mic.
I got to thank JD Design, Jason Fritsch. He worked his ass off designing a bunch of cars this year, and he's made a website for me, which has been awesome. Me and him worked hand in hand for a while. I probably made him pull his hair out a bunch of times. But then, so obviously last but far from least, my mom at Penny Sure Heaven. I look at my mom. This would look a hell of a lot worse without her help. That's for damn sure. And she's busy and she does a lot with her grandparents, and she tries to support me in any way she can. It's tough when you're doing it small time because you can't break the bank, but then at the same time you got to make it here. So
right.
Sacrifice when you can, take and give when you can. And,
really? A whole bunch of people. In your
yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, it's terrible for me to say I'm trying to think, but you come here after the races anytime, and there's just a sea of people. You could do a wave. Really can't. I mean, it doesn't go without saying. Weekly Thrills in the Hills. I have to thank my girlfriend Whitney, obviously. Thanks, Val. I have to thank my girlfriend Whitney, and just from supporting me as the weeks go on. There's been countless times where I left her alone with the dogs in the house at the night because I have to. If I want to race on Saturday, sounds bad saying I have to, but if I want to race on Saturday, she's willing enough to kind of take care of, hold down the fort while I'm gone, which goes a long way. And then on top of that, she puts a lot of effort in these videos. Everyone, we could say 2 to 3 hours, and people are like, "Oh yeah, 2 to 3 hours, whatever. That's a picnic." Now, when I get home after unloading everything, she's just buried in her phone, but she has to be in order to get these done. And you can see she's dead tired, but she still pushes through and gets everything done. And the quickest. No one does No one does a Saturday night or a whole night's turnaround video quicker than what she does. You never see anyone upload the next day other than Flow Racing.
Yes.
Which that's different. Mm-hmm. However, no one uploads that quick.
No.
No one. Also, to give a big thank you to Kenny Henninger before I forget. He's kind of made this whole deal happen with a bunch of new sponsors and new connections, and he's been money. But yeah, anyways, get back to Weekly Thrills in the Hills. She, it's amazing what she's doing, and she's got a lot of feedback from it, and especially what you guys are doing. Also, thank you to you guys for allowing me to redo this. Hopefully, it's not too long. We're probably coming up to like 20 minutes.
I'm all right. No worries. This is my last year as Miss Grandview. So to hear that, it makes me proud.
I'm not just saying this because you're standing in front of me. When she told me during the winter that you had this idea, I'm like, that's cool. No one's ever done this. No offense to Whippy down there, but you're put on the spot down there. It's kind of tough. But like this, it's personal. It's one-to-one. This is awesome. This is what drivers want.
Sorry.
They get their name out there this way. It's one-on-one, and it definitely goes a long ways what you guys are doing. And I like watching it, even if I don't like the person that's on the camera, which I won't say. I still watch it because it's still neat.
Fair enough.
But yeah, again, thank you for redoing this and having me on here. It's awesome to be a part of this, even if I'm forcing it.
No. I thank you so much for letting me redo this, because I was like, I even said to Winnie, I was like, I have to redo this. It literally ate me all season. I'm like, I have to redo this because it bothered me so bad.
I'm glad you gave me the chance to do it because this is fun. I'm a big talker.
Me too. Me too.
When it comes to something I'm passionate about, I can talk anyone's ear off now. So, before I get a cottonmouth here, and I've got to do a driver's thing.
Yes.
Thank you for having me on here. It's
Thank
been a
you
pleasure.
so much, Parker. I appreciate it.
Yep.